When thinking of the future, it is rare that young men ever contemplate the idea of becoming a husband and a father. But as we grow older, the idea of becoming married with children begins to develop, and we visualize the happily ever after theme that women have pictured since their adolescence. Whether growing up in a single-parent household or a household with both parents, no one can ever imagine their own marriage ending in a divorce. Religiously, divorce is said to be the ugliest thing allowed by God. The process is very emotional and very confusing. And although both spouses may agree that it is time to divorce, the way to go about it becomes the question. Today I'm going to explain to you several different ways to become divorced, just in case you guys find yourself in this troubling situation. Depending on your individual circumstances, there are several ways to become divorced. There's the litigated divorce, the mediated divorce, and the negotiated divorce. Today I'm going to give you an idea of each. According to the Forrest Institute of Professional Psychology, 50% of first marriages, 67% of second marriages, and an astounding 74% of third marriages will end in divorce. In June 2010, after 10 years and being with the mother of my 3 children, I personally joined the ranks of 50% of whose first marriage ended in a divorce. Although we both agreed that it was time to divorce, the way to go about it became the question. Whenever we think about divorce, whether it's from a TV program, watching our loved ones go through it, or even watching our own parents go through it, what we picture is known as a litigated divorce. In a litigated divorce, both parents hire attorneys to hash out the terms of child care, assets obtained during the marriage, and the overall settlement of the divorce. The settlement will be ultimately decided by a judge, since the petitioner, the person filing for divorce, and the respondent, the person being divorced, could not come to terms on their own. The litigated divorce is the most expensive divorce because each party has to pay for their own attorney's costs. They also have to pay the court to set them a schedule on the court's calendar. The litigated divorce is often a messy situation with both parties not getting what they want at the end of the day. This is the most popular way to divorce in the United States. It takes the longest and oftentimes causes further pain due to the separation time agreeing on the proper way to conduct oneself during this gray area as far as dating or financial support. In my personal situation, and the path that many couples choose to minimize costs and keep things from becoming time-consuming and messy, there is what's known as the mediated divorce. In a mediated divorce, both parties come to the table with a third party who's neutral and agreeing to the terms of ending their marriage. Although it is recommended to have an attorney look over the mediated agreement before signing, this still reduces costs substantially because the attorney does not have to prepare paperwork or make a personal appearance in front of the judge. The mediator in the mediated divorce, they're oftentimes psychologists or lawyers with many years of experience in divorce. So they can serve as dual roles, as a mediator and a counselor to the couple, and see the parents' true intentions when they see what they're requesting. At the conclusion of the mediation, the petitioner then takes the divorce decree to the courts, and the respondent is served a court date through the mail. The judge at the court date goes through the paperwork and asks if both parties agree. If both parties agree, at that time the judge signs the divorce decree and the divorce is final. The third way to become divorced is the negotiated divorce. This divorce procedure is the most civil and both parties handle everything on their own. The petitioner pays the fee to file the negotiated divorce decree, and the respondent appears in court, letting the judge know that he confirms their agreement. Much like the mediated divorce decree, this greatly reduces costs and time. This is the least most likely way to become divorced. The negotiated divorce will require spouses to not be emotional, which is very hard to do at the time of divorce. Many states have laws where both parties have to attend divorce counseling before they are allowed to have the final order signed. According to the psychologist at the Four Seasons Healing Incorporated, the counseling is to help parents deal with the hurt, raise children separately, and to accept divorce as personal growth and not personal failure. Divorce has been on a steady incline since the 1970 law was passed called the No-Fault Divorce Law. This law is similar to the free to hire, free to fire law that governs employment. It allows couples to divorce with no reason given. Divorce is never an easy thing to do when both parties agree on it. Divorcing is never an easy thing to do, even when both parties agree on it. Knowing your circumstances, situation, and your spouse will allow you to make the right decision on whether to seek a litigated, mediated, or a negotiated divorce. Remember, divorce represents personal growth and not personal failure. And more importantly than that, divorce is the ugliest thing allowed by God.